Arsenal, Chelsea and Tottenham fan walked into a bar.
Hello and welcome to Walked Into a Bar. Now, we've been away for a little while, but Boris has said we can reopen to bring you an end of season special. Socially distanced, of course. And to be honest, 2 metres isn't even far enough for me right now. Not with these lot. Thankfully, I don't have to be in the same room as the Gunners after Saturday's abysmal display. But we'll get into that later. So joining me in the red corner today is AFTV hating Mark Lee and comedian Joe Bohr, who actually featured with his son Milo on the BBC on Saturday for the FA Cup build-up. It's pretty darn cool. And repping Spurs is Blues Antony Costa and my girl Rachael Downie. So I guess that just leaves me and Louis to try and defend the Blues. Hey guys, how are we doing?
Yeah, we're good.
So we're just waiting. We're waiting on Joe. He's got to put Milo to bed. But yeah, let's get into it. So we are fully interactive. So if you want to have your comments and things, then put them down below. And yeah, I suppose we better get into the FA Cup chat.
Great place to start.
Great place
What's
to
the
start
point
for
of me
you.
being here? What's the point of me being here, mate? It's muggy.
You in a bit.
Muggy. Chelsea, you lot didn't turn up as usual, innit? When we need you to do us a favour. Always. Chelsea, always Chelsea.
Does that make you feel dirty, Costa, rooting for Chelsea, though?
It was just horrible, mate. It was an horrible feeling, bro. It was horrible. And as usual, you know, Chelsea didn't turn up, innit? And you lot did. And now we've got to qualify and you know, go to all these different countries. But yeah, go on, you know, talk about your nice FA Cup win. Go on. Oh, he's here as well. Joe's here as well. Yeah, Joe. Go on, Joe. Go on.
Right, Joe. Yeah.
He had Arsenal. He turns out there he is.
Oh, I woke up on someone's sofa in Notting Hill at like 7 in the morning. I went absolutely turbo on Saturday night.
I still can't believe we won.
Funny.
Neither can I.
When we went 1-0 down, I was worried, obviously. But the half an hour that followed that, I thought we were impeccable. Yeah, you know, it wasn't a sending off, fair enough, it wasn't. But I felt like we deserved it on the day anyway.
Yeah, we got nothing.
Always helps when Anthony Taylor's wearing red, though, doesn't it? Always helps when Anthony Taylor. Oh, I hate that.
Oh, there we go.
Burning passion. I hate
Mate,
that man. All referees have it in for us. They have done since 2009. But at the end of the day, Arsenal were a better side than us. I think, you know, we can safely say that after that first drinks break, Arsenal played us off the park. But it does help when, you know, you give the referee a bit of varnish for his head before the game, so he looks good for the cameras. So, you know, we'll have to see what happens. Maybe if there was a replay, you know, I think we'd have to consider it, to be honest, especially after Anthony Taylor's performance. I thought that was worthy of an Oscar. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Like, people talk about Leonardo DiCaprio not winning an Oscar for years. Anthony Taylor, if it was him versus Leo, it's tough, really tough one.
I think a lot of decisions did go against us. I felt it was very unfair, but you know, whatever. And I just want to defend my dog because he did have 100% win rate, okay? And before I put the treats down, he did actually go to the Arsenal piece of paper. So I had to make sure that I put the treat like further away for the Arsenal one, and then I put him down so that he would go straight to the Chelsea one because I wanted Chelsea to win. So technically, he's still got 100% win rate.
Still 100% record.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, good.
But gotta say, Uber, what a player. I'm sorry, but Chelsea, Spurs, you guys just got to accept the fact that he's probably the GOAT of the league in terms of strikers now, at the minute.
He's got to be better than Giroud.
He just turns up, doesn't he? He just turns up. It's just annoying.
I can't argue with it. I can't, and it's annoying.
What's happening about his contract, though?
I don't know. Arteta looks confident. I back the man with his beautiful Lego hair. Whatever he says and does, I'll back. So he seems confident Aubameyang's going to sign another contract. So I don't know. I'll see. I reckon in the next week or two it'll be sorted. But fingers crossed.
He did do that that night on Instagram with his brother. where somebody said blink if you're going to sign the contract, and he was like going crazy blinking and stuff. So
You sure it just wasn't a fit?
might have just been a bit of hay fever or something. Who knows?
I saw that, and he does play a lot with the fans around the contract signing and stuff like that. So yeah, I did see that as well. It was like a live thing with his brother, and he did this sort of wink when someone asked. So yeah, I don't know. Who knows what it means?
Are we nicking Willian as well?
Yes, apparently you are.
You know, I wouldn't even say it was nicking. You can have him. I can't wait to see him take corners for you next year. Brilliant.
I love Willian.
I love Willian. I especially love it when he's.
Go on.
I especially love Willian when he's getting substituted and going off the pitch. That's when I love him the most. All that one game a year he scores. He basically, if you have a bingo card as a Chelsea fan, you have at least once a year he actually gets a corner in the box and pass the first man. At least once a year he scores a free kick, and at least once a year he has one good game. And then after that,
and that's always against Spurs.
Yeah, and it's always against Spurs. So I mean, you know, there's that's it. It's as simple as that. He knows exactly when to turn up. When a new contract's on the line, though, he does turn into Ronaldinho. So I don't completely understand what's going on with that. But look, if you guys want him, you're welcome to him. We've got Hakim Ziyech, Timo Werner, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Christian Pulisic. We're loaded in that position. Absolutely fine with that.
Potentially Havertz as well.
And potentially Havertz, yeah. So,
which I'm fuming about, by the way, because I've been sort of ogling him for the past like 2 years, and you know, Chelsea are going in this summer. I mean, the Werner signing is sensational, to be fair. So I got a lot of time for Lampard. You know, I got a lot of time for Lampard. He makes me hate you less.
What can I say?
I'm trying to add Rachael in. Hold on, bear with me. I can't get to the bottom of my screen because I got so many people here. Hold on.
She put clothes on this time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a beer.
Oh, Joe's gone off to get a beer. So let's review how our teams have done this season. Mark, should we start with you and Arsenal? Obviously, you finished 8th. It's not the best. Chelsea have taken your spot at 4th. Sorry.
I was going to say start with Costa because we've done the FA Cup stuff. All
right, yeah. Costa, do you want to review your season?
Yeah, rubbish. No. I think we got rid of Potts too late. I think he should have gone after that Champions League final because he lost the dressing room, he lost everything. And the first 5-6 games of the season, as you know, we was absolutely disgraceful. We were poor, we were terrible, and it wasn't a nice watch. And I think that, as I said, we let him go a little too late and brought in Mourinho. We should have brought Mourinho if he was the man for the start of the season just gone, to get his players and to put his stamp on the team. Unfortunately, he didn't, and we've scraped 6th, and now we've got to start qualifying, you know, in about a week's time in the back end of I don't know where. So we shall see, mate. I think Mourinho's the man. I think we've got to give him time. We've got to get, Levy's got to back him, fingers crossed, and we kick on next season.
What do you make of it, Rach?
No, but we've got to get rid of some of the deadwood.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Mourinho, it's been tough because he can't do that much at the moment.
I can't hear you, love.
Oh, you can't hear me now. Oh,
I can hear you.
I can hear.
I can hear you.
Oh, typical Guna.
I can't hear.
Yes, no, I think we got rid of Poch too late. I think that Mourinho did the best he could with what he could do at the particular time. We've got some great players coming through, like Birdvine. We've got the Celso. We've got, Europa's not amazing, but it's the first step to where we want to take the club. I think next season will be different, but it's hard as well because there's not much money. So when it comes to the transfer, at the moment, there's not much to spend. We've obviously lost a lot on the club so far with the new stadium, and obviously with COVID. So I don't know. There's promise and potential. It's going to take Mourinho some time, but I think we've only got one last season for him to prove himself, and we'll just get rid of him if not. So yeah, we've done all right. I've seen glimmers of the old Spurs, but we're a long way off, I think. So yeah, bloody annoying.
Do you not think though that Mourinho's just lost it a bit? Like he didn't do
No,
well.
no, not at all.
No, there's
Not
only
at
so
all,
much you
not
can
at all.
do,
No,
though.
it's
You
not
know, he
Mourinho's
came
fault.
in, half
No,
the season
exactly.
we were 14.
It's
There was a few
never
good
Mourinho's
players.
fault.
Well,
What are you
it's
talking
not,
about, Amy?
but
He's
no,
been
the
given,
thing is, he
Amy,
came-
he's been
I mean, he
given the
looked miserable
tools
before
from
COVID.
Poch.
In a way, we didn't need COVID, but we did. He looked so miserable before COVID, and we had so many players out injured. But
Yeah,
he
exactly.
can only do what he can do. And as soon as he took over the club, the first few games we won. So that shows the unrest going on behind the scenes with Poch or amongst other players. But I think at the moment it's too soon to write him off. And I don't think Spurs fans are writing Mourinho off, to be honest. I think we've got.
I think that, Rach, there's a big divide.
I think he needs to got rid of a lot of dead wood, and he needs to maybe bring some new players in of his choice. But again, it all depends how much money we've got to spend and stuff. I just don't know. I'm not going to write him off yet. Give me another season, and I might. But yeah, not at the moment. I think he's done all right.
No. Yeah, I think you've got to give him time. Every manager needs time. You know, Poch had 6.5 years and we didn't win anything. That's not good enough. You know,
Don't give him 3 years.
I was speaking to.
Give him 2 years. He's never good in the third year.
2-3 years.
That's true.
Well, you don't know, Joe, do you? It's Spurs, isn't it?
No.
We might start kicking on.
I'd just give him one
You
more
might start
season. If he
kicking on.
doesn't do it this season coming, yeah.
But who's going to come in?
Bring
Eddie
back the
Howe
manager.
made a good
Oh, do me a favour. Do me a favour. Eddie Howe. You're laughing, huh?
What if Jose Mourinho
No.
wore his gilet more often? Because a gilet technically got you to the FA Cup final with Tim Sherwood. If Mourinho wore a gilet more often, and it would get you to an FA Cup final. But I mean, when you were saying Spurs to kick on,
You said that, and I was like,
yeah. I say some very outrageous things, so get used to it. No, but to put it this way, when you said Tottenham will kick on, what exactly is that?
They have got
checking.
beer. They got the beer glasses.
Oh, come on, Louis, mate.
Louis,
Come on, mate. We've got some good players. You know, we're just missing a few players.
They got that great.
You're missing a few players. I mean, you want to be careful though. You want to be careful. You don't want to ruin the dynamic of in that trophy room having the cutest squad in the Premier League, because that trophy looks really nice up there next to the Amazon Prime one as well. I think they look superb. Tottenham kicking on is like harking all the way back to the 80s. I wasn't even born. I was like, I don't even know what I'm saying.
So you've lived, no disrespect, you've lived the glory days, mate. You've lived the glory days. I remember.
I can't help it. I can't help my
I'm not
club being
saying
good
you
at the
can,
minute.
but what I'm saying is, I lived the late 80s and early 90s, mate. So trust me,
so
when
smug.
we're playing
So
well,
smug.
I rate, I'm Spurs through and through. Do you know what I mean? I
Starting
love
to sound
my
like a
club.
Leeds
I
fan.
haven't. No, we've got potential. It's there.
Chelsea got bought for £1 in the 80s.
Potential.
Yeah.
Exactly, mate. Don't start giving it with me, mate. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
Kenny.
Chelsea were not anything until the Abramovich came in. Let's just get it straight. All right, come on.
What's that?
I know I'm anti-Spurs, but I'm anti-Chelsea as well.
All right, so let's talk Arsenal then. Arsenal season.
Go on.
All
Joe,
right. We did well. We've done better than we thought we would do. Turned out all right.
I think from how our season started with Emery and the absolute shocker that he had, dysfunctional changing room, all the stuff, and Arteta's come in, first job, and he's won us a trophy, got us into Europe. I mean, you can't ask more than that without actually going in and spending any money. The way you can tell by the way we play, conceding less goals, scoring more, creating more possession. I feel like I've got my Arsenal back a little bit, but it'd be interesting to see what we do in the summer, because we got to get rid of quite a few sort of shockers in our team that are on really inflated wages, and see what he does in the summer. I mean, Arteta's done a phenomenal job. You can't argue with European football in a trophy. Given
Right.
Is he gonna attract the big players? Is he the manager that's gonna attract the big players?
I think if he keeps the big players, he'll attract the big players. You know what I mean? Like, I think if someone like Aubameyang signs a contract, that just says it all, really.
Fair enough.
but Ozil's got to go though.
You what?
Ozil's got to go. He's just taking up your money. He's not being paid.
He ain't going
No,
nowhere.
he's on a jolly.
He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going
Say
nowhere.
that again.
He's on holiday.
Nowhere.
Mental. He's going to sit on his contract for a year, and every Ozil fan in the fan base is going to be an anti-Ozil fan. You can't just sit there on $350 a week and just not want to go and play football somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's just, I think everybody's team Arteta. I think for one thing he's done, he's unified the fan base, which is amazing for us, really, because everybody's team Arteta at the minute.
I love seeing the team talks. I love seeing him. He gets involved. He's passionate. He shouts. I don't know what he's shouting.
I like him on the drinks breaks as well. He uses that. I'm surprised he doesn't get the clipboard out and sort of.
Yeah.
That's just for
Okay,
show.
so-
That's just for show.
Yeah.
So
Probably.
let me ask this to the Spurs fans then, because obviously we've got Super Frank back at Chelsea, Arteta's back at Arsenal. If you could have one player from like Spurs legend to come back and manage your team,
No one.
who would you want?
No one.
No one.
No one. No, because great players don't necessarily make good managers. Frank, all right, he's going to be all right, but he's been backed. So Arteta, he's won something. The proof is this season, next season. Do you know what I mean? So it's always, we've had great players like Glenn Hoddle managing us and things like that. But I'm not a believer of that at all. That's my personal opinion. I don't know what Rachel reckons.
Rachel's just she froze, so she's gonna try and come back in. But
It's like we were going to get Henri, but if he wasn't a good manager, it'd be horrible. You can't sack. You can't sack Henri.
Yeah,
exactly.
Same with Vieira.
Vieira. Exactly. Imagine you lot with Bergkamp, Vieira, and Henri, and then you lot, not finishing in the top 6. It's embarrassing, and it's devastating. Legacy. Of course, it's devastating. Let's call it straight. Frank, I think will do a good job at Chelsea. But as I said, you've got the money, and the players that he wants is always going to get backed. So
that's the thing.
That's
Chelsea are always going to get. I mean, look at what they've done already. In the transfer window, Ziyech.
They've done great business. Great business. Yeah.
I mean, as a young manager, first gig, pretty much. Like what? I mean, you can't ask for more. You get bottomless pit of money. You've already got a lot of good players there, a lot of good young players. Your keeper is an absolute shocker, though. Get Kepa out like ASAP. I mean,
when he didn't come off. Do you remember when he didn't come off?
Yeah. Where was it? Sarri, that was the manager, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's still not come off that pitch, to be honest. He's still there.
He's still there.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I've never seen that happen before.
Actually, was so hilarious, and Zola is one of the most chilled out guys, and even he lost his shit. I was actually quite living for it.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
It's like with a naughty kid at school. It's like with a naughty kid at school gets told to get out of the classroom and just no, miss.
That was me.
Is that you?
That's why I was living for that behaviour.
That's what happens.
I love that. So somebody said, I think that Ledley King would make a good manager. He's already in our coaching staff for next season, so therefore I believe he would be good. Costa, what do you make to that, Ledley King, or not?
No, he'll be a good coach, because I think manager style, he's very close to the players. He sees them obviously all the time. Will he be a good manager? I doubt it. I think he'll be a good number 2. And mate, I hope I'm proven wrong, but not yet.
And I mean, obviously we've had a good season, because starting out we would have just taken, mid-table as, being pretty good. We couldn't buy any players. Frank obviously was coming in with only one season at Derby in front of him as experience. So I think we've done exceptionally well. And I had to even remind myself that it is still his first season, because obviously with COVID, it just feels like this season's been 3 seasons long. So I think we've done really well. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think the 6th to 8 bracket, I thought was where we might finish, or just comfortably mid-table. And I was like, that and a cup run, I'd be happy with that. I didn't think we'd get out of our Champions League group either. Because I think we had Sevilla, we had Lille, and we had not Sevilla, Valencia, Lille, and I've forgotten who the other one was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we had a tough group. And we went up against it, and we did a fantastic job in the group stage. Got outclassed by a team which is leaps and bounds ahead of us in the round of 16. Obviously, we're going to beat them 4-0 on Saturday in the second leg. It's just definitely going to happen. But I mean, outside of that, I think it's one of those where, look, this season, if you'd said to me 4th place in the FA Cup final at the beginning, I'd have bitten your hand off. And especially with the investment we've now had, I don't want to predict where we're going to finish because I'm slightly worried that there might be an imbalance in the squad and it might all go completely wrong. But I'm just a natural pessimist. But I mean, this season, Frank's been unreal. He's unified the whole club, like Mark and Joe were saying about Arsenal, where it's kind of unified the fan base with the club again. Frank Lampard's done exactly that. There's always been a disconnect over the past few managers. So if you go back to Mourinho,
especially with Sarri, that was just awful.
Exactly, yeah. So you had Sarri and the fans at the ground. Obviously, Twitter didn't disagree, but that's Twitter. Don't really listen to it. But it's one of those where there was in the ground, fans weren't a fan of Sarri, but the board kind of backed him, but it kind of went wrong. Conte, fans loved him, board hated him. Frank Lampard just unified the whole thing, and it's fantastic to see. So and the other thing as well is he's started to implement a philosophy, because over the past decade, Chelsea's philosophy has simply been win trophies at all costs. That's like it. But
yeah, it wasn't really to build on the team, was it? And for the longer term, it was just sort of make sure you get the trophies, fill up the cabinet.
Exactly.
Don't care if the players gel or not, just get on and do your job.
Exactly. But now it's kind of a case of Lampard's. He's even moved the youth products into the side, but not just that. There's now a direct route from the youth to the first team, and that's not just a metaphorical point of it's definitely you can get in. That he's literally moved the youth setup and made a path between first team training and the under 23s and under 18s. So it's literally he's molding the club now, and it'll give him a few years. And I think
and even the new players coming in, like Timo Werner was spotted out at in Selfridges with Reece James the other day, and they've got a little click going on now, and it just seems it's just coming to the group and just gelling with everyone already, which is great to see, because normally that doesn't really happen until halfway through the season or whatever, and it can be a bit difficult coming in as an outsider and that. So I mean, I'm really excited for next season, but like you said, I want to sort of count my chickens before they've hatched, because I did that with the FA Cup final and look what happened. So I ain't getting cocky about nothing no more.
I think you're lucky. I think you got a lot of good young players. I mean, you had enough that were already on loan. Something like about 50 players on loan. But he couldn't buy, so it was tough. I think it was quite tough for him. I think he's done all right. I like Frank.
Isn't your longest serving player a goalkeeper that's never played a game? Is that right?
Jamie Cummings.
I can't remember. I think he's been loaned out 20 or
Delac. Yeah. No, he's been and gone. I don't know who our longest serving player is now, to be honest.
Yeah, but you do have a lot of good youngsters. That Gilmore, that centre midfielder, looks a bit of a player.
Yeah,
Scottish, but yeah, he looks all right. But yeah, Chelsea look good. I think you guys had an issue with top down. Roman was cutthroat, right? So it wasn't really about the manager. The manager was a cyclical motion within your club. It was kind of irrelevant, really. It was just kind of spend loads of cash. The manager's there, player power kind of rule. But Frank, like you said, mate, he's kind of flipped the script. He's well respected in the club because he's been there for such a long time. Respected with the players, respected with the board. And like you said, I think he will probably unify it for you. Hopefully you don't do what you usually do and just get rid of him after a couple of seasons if things don't go your way. But hopefully you actually back him and back a manager once. Let's see.
I hope so too.
I think we will. I mean, I think the case with Chelsea is a case of who would come in, who would replace him. And right now, I don't think there is a manager in world football that would fit the mold of what Chelsea are trying to do right now. I think Roman's kind of realised he does need to be a project manager almost. I mean, you look at how long the contract you lot gave for Emre was. You look at Man City and how they're built up for Guardiola. You look at how long Poch got at Spurs as well, and was given time to develop something in their own brand. So I think right now Frank Lampard is the right man for Chelsea Football Club. Simple as that. And I'm happy to see him in charge.
Yeah.
I like the row he had with Klopp.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was good. That was good.
That was class. I love that.
You don't see
And
a lot of
the
that.
best thing is that he didn't even apologise for the row. He just apologised for the swearing. He was like, I don't apologise for what happened, but I apologise for the swearing.
Liverpool is smug though. They kind of deserve that. I'm quite impressed with kind of giving it to him a little bit because they were. You know what Liverpool fans are like. I know we haven't got one on here, thank God. But like,
I was going to get Jermaine on because he did start with Arsenal, didn't he? So I was going to get him on, but
I would have almost sacrificed winning the FA Cup so Liverpool didn't win the league just because I wanted to see the tears. Because it was just they would just. Don't get me wrong, they deserved it and everything like that. But just does anyone do you agree that their fans are probably the most insufferable in the league? I think they're just horrible, horrible.
If we're really coming up, it's got to be Leeds.
I think West Ham's worse.
I don't mind Leeds fans. My wife's a Leeds fan. She likes to say. Anyway,
sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I would say some of our fans are a bit of a nightmare. Because we've obviously won so much. I think there is that expectation.
We're a victim of our own success, and you have that new generation of Arsenal fans that only experienced Wenger, right? And that's the glory. They didn't experience the sort of the Bruce Rioch season, or even like sort of like a few times with George Graham and those sort of shockers that we had. You know what I mean? They just experienced all the massive highs in the Invincibles, and then you go into that sort of back end of Wenger era, and that's really those sort of 20 to 25-year-old or teenagers. That's really all they know. So
it did get a bit toxic. It did get a bit moany, last few seasons.
Horrible, mate. Horrible. And hounding Wenger out, like my footballing dad, I wouldn't have it, I mean, he needed to go, but he should have done it himself. But, he could have.
I think he should have left in 2017, the last time you won the FA Cup. That would have been a good time for him to bow out. But
when we beat you, because weirdly, we beat City in the semi-final last time, and then we beat you 2-1, having gone 1-0 down as well. So it was quite reminiscent of that. But that final, he should have. I mean, you can't get better than that, just bow out.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then he just had that horrible season.
I was actually sat in Mark Lee's hot tub on that day, and you was on your stag do, weren't you?
Yeah, I was on my stag do. I lost my voice during the FA Cup final that day. Yeah, what a day though. Yeah, I was in Ibiza for that. Broken, but yeah, lovely time.
Right.
Nice.
Anyway. Now, let's go on to producer Ed, who isn't actually with us. So I'm producing, which is a bit of a nightmare. So if it's crap, I'm sorry. But anyway, right, here's producer Ed's question for his trivia for us. Here we go.
Hi guys, here's a quick little trivia question for you based on yellow cards in the Premier League this season. So remember when you give your answer that it's only in the Premier League. So which one of these players received the most yellow cards this season? Was it Marcus Alonso, Alderweireld, or Lacazette?
Ooh.
What do you think, guys?
I didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it?
It can't be Lacazette.
So it's either Marcus Alonso,
Alderweireld, or Lacazette. Who's got the most yellow cards?
Who got the most yellow cards this season?
Can't be Lacazette. You don't get yellow cards.
I think it's Lacazette.
I actually think it's Lacazette as well. I would have thought it would have been Alonso, but I think Ed's trying to mug me off here. I think it's Lacazette because he does get a few sort of needless bookings, sort of thing. So,
what do you reckon?
I will go Lacazette.
I think Lacazette.
I know the answer.
I think Lacazette's a red herring. I think it's a red herring. I think it's there to put me off. Marcus Alonso barely played, but he is so bad at getting back. Could be him, but then at the same time, Alderweireld doesn't have the best season.
He didn't play a lot, did he?
Yeah, but no, I'm going to do it. Do come back to me. Give me 10 seconds. Hang on.
It's Lacazette.
Gotta be Lacazette.
So Joe's going Lacazette. Mark?
Lacazette.
Marcus
Alderweireld. I've got Alderweireld.
Oh, you're changing your mind now?
Yeah, I've got Alderweireld.
All right. So is the overall Lacazette or not?
Yeah, I think it is. I've got Marcus Alonso.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Change
I
the
did
shit.
it. I just did it because I don't know.
All right,
I
let's see
didn't
what the answer was then. Over to you, Ed.
So Marcus Alonso received 4 yellow cards this season. Alderweireld received 7, which means Lacazette received 8 yellow cards this season. So congratulations if you got that one right.
Always knew it was Lacazette. Never had any doubt.
Okay, guys.
Was it
That's a lot.
Lacazette, yeah?
He must have only played about 10, 15 games.
He's been booked 8 times this season. That is shocking for a number 9, really.
8 times, yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. Right, we're coming to the end of the show now, so we're going to get on to the Ballon floors. Obviously, the Ballon d'Or was cancelled this year due to COVID, so we're going to do our own award ceremony, but it's not for the good stuff that's happened in football. It's for the really shit stuff. I made these graphics myself, guys. I spent the day doing that. Hidden talents. So the categories are, and obviously feel free to jump in with your own: worst missed goal, worst overall player in the Premier League, worst referee, which I think me and Louis are probably going to agree on the same guy here.
I know exactly who that is. It's just no argument.
And worst VAR decision. Discuss.
Well, the VAR has to be the Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I do without doubt. I know that was like goal line, but still VAR, right? It essentially got them relegated. You can't argue against that, really. That was terrible.
That was very harsh. Yeah.
What about when Declan Rice lost his head after it was against Sheffield United? Because that one I agree. I think the Bournemouth one probably is the worst one, but it wasn't actually VAR. It was Hawkeye.
Fair.
But an actual VAR decision was, do you remember when Declan Rice he touched it down here and then went through West Ham, scored a goal that would have put them I think it was something within 2 points of top 10 or something, and then they got ruled out after 5 minutes, and then he just lost his head completely. I'd put that there.
Wasn't that when it kind of, and by the letter of the law, not that I agree with the law, but isn't it like when they hit it and he wasn't even looking at the ball and it kind of ricocheted off the top end of his arm, went into the path, and then they went and scored? So they will always give that a handball if they sort of call it back. So I don't know. I'm not saying I agree with the law, but you know.
No, I think it didn't, because I think that was the argument. So it didn't actually hit his arm; it hit his shoulder there. And then they kind of, as most English referees are, were blind and just completely screwed it up. I'd put that up there as probably one of that was the decision which kind of, because I've always been a big advocate for VAR. I looked at how it was used at the World Cup. Thought, do you know what? That could actually really work. I think it'd be something which is really useful. And then English referees they never use the monitor. Only time I've seen the monitor used twice this year. One in the FA Cup and in that Norwich Man City game where Ben Godfrey got sent off. But that was the game where I kind of looked at it. Do you know what? It's completely pointless because the officials that we have in this league just simply cannot use it, or they're just too egotistical. And I will say egotistical because I think they are, to even just go and look at the monitor and make the decision. Instead, they just listen to what they're being told, even if it's right or wrong, and can't make their own decision. And it doesn't.
Mike Dean has an ego. I won't have it.
Oh no, Mike Dean doesn't have an ego. Mike Dean's a lovely man. He killed 10,000 chickens a day. I think a man like that can have an ego. Bloodlust he's got. Be careful. Don't mess with him.
So obviously I am a referee, so I still get all of the emails from the FA and stuff. And unofficially, I'm not really supposed to talk about this, but they are looking at changing the offside, how VAR looks at offside and stuff next season. So they're going to be looking at this whole toenail thing and armpits and things like that for offside. So next season we could see things be a little bit more fair.
I like it. I like VAR. It adds a bit of tension.
They need to speed it.
VAR decision.
It adds drama.
It does.
And it's my blood pressure, and I don't need any more of that.
They need to speed it up though, but it is kind of like a trial run. I think next season they got to kind of make things a lot more seamless. And like Lou was saying, they have the refs have to take ownership of things. They can't just deflect responsibility to the man in the sky. They need to go over to the monitor like they did. I remember when Aubameyang got sent off, deservedly so, right, for a high challenge. So he originally got a yellow card. Guy went over, which is really rare, like Louis was saying, and then he came back and reversed his decision, right? But I've seen probably about 20 of those challenges in the league this season, and none of the refs at the time actually checked the monitor, and all of them are red cards. And it just winds me up. Do you know what I mean? There's no consistency. They're just all shocking. And for the biggest league in the world, we have the worst refs. It's just scandalous.
The harsh one, there was the Eddie Nketiah one, where I felt that
was high foot, though, wasn't it?
It was a high foot. But I've seen him. I've seen him get away. You know, people get. You know, footballers have got away with it in the past. I've drunk too much. I'm going to keep going.
You know what? With that, I actually think by the red card, it was unlucky because there was no intent. It was just I was going for the ball. There was another one that happened really soon after the Nketiah red card. It wasn't given as a red card. You might know, Amy. You might know, guys, but I can't remember what it was. But that didn't actually get reversed, and it just, you know, like I said, goes back to consistency. It's just shocking, really.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. Like it's the consistency of it all. So if it was consistent, I mean, there's all you on the sauce, and I'm drinking out of a big water jug. I mean, you know, it says it all.
Where's Costa gone?
Huh?
Yeah, he keeps freezing. Oh, he's back.
Celebrating our 14th FA Cup. Gosh.
Yeah. No, just do one. No, but I think like when you have the argument of I've seen them given, I've seen them not given. In some scenarios where people are lucky to get away with it, that just goes to show the level of officiating within the Premier League is lackadaisical. It's one of those where you look at it and you go, okay, VAR suggests this should be what it is. So you go and look at the monitor and you do it every single time. If the referee is not sure, he should be going to look at it. And it's that simple. If you get someone who say, I think you should have a look at that, go and have a look at it. Don't just go, yeah, okay, that's it. It actually is a red card. Okay, cool, nice. Instead of actually making your own decision, because the whole point of VAR was, we're not taking away from the referee's decision, but then they go ahead and do it when they say this person has a red card and the ref just dishes it out rather than going to make his own decision by going to look at the monitor. Sorry, I've gone on a bit of a rant because I just hate that.
I think the crowd need to do something about it, because instead, at the moment, there is an awkward silence as everyone sort of waits. I think there needs to be like a ooh, or there needs to be some sort of chanting. VAR. VAR. We need to have something. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, you just need chanting at Arsenal full stop, don't you? So, I mean, that would be a bit of a challenge for you. Like.
We'd be at danger of going very American with our sporting. I think we're already going away with the bloody drinks breaks. Do you know what I mean? I mean, these sort of like, I suppose we're going to get cheerleaders coming out at that time.
That needs to stop now.
Why don't they get cheerleaders? I think that's a great idea.
What, the cheerleaders?
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. Mark, let's get it done.
I don't want to see Croydon girls sort of. I'm sorry to Croydon, but like girls in LA. Do you know what I mean? Fair enough. I don't want to I don't know. Oh, my name's Sharon from Stratford. I'm like, I'm all right.
Girl from Leeds. Hey up, Ducket. Here I am to do the dance.
I actually tried to start a cheerleading squad, believe it or not, at my school. I mean, of course you believe it, it's me. But yeah, no one else was up for it. So I was like, all right, fuck you all then.
On your own.
Just me doing some star jumps. Way! Diabolical.
You don't see it in the UK. You don't see it over here. Like in America, it's quite American.
Probably a reason.
Crystal Palace, you know?
Yeah, the Eagles do it.
Yeah, Crystal Palace. Yeah, my mate was part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You don't get that at Arsenal.
One of my friends, Alex, was dating one of the Eagles girls. He still doesn't shut up about it. It was about 20 years ago. He's probably watching right now. Yeah, I see you, Livesey.
Okay, so let's go. So moving on from VAR. So I know it's Hawkeye, but I think we're all going to agree that it was the Bournemouth decision in technology. Yeah, worst technology decision.
Yeah.
Bournemouth. So now let's move on to the worst referee of the season. Hands down, Antony Taylor. Are we all in agreement?
Gotta be.
All right, sweet. Okay. Now, worst player in the Premier League. Someone has.
David Luiz. Did you not see him in the final? Come on.
He had one bad game. Apparently, he was injured. Someone said he was injured when he had that crap
Who
game.
did you say?
Someone even said on here some Spurs fan was saying David Luiz is the worst player. I was like, I mean, you clearly aren't watching enough football to realise that. You can't just base it on 45 minutes against Man City, first game after COVID. He's been a monster in some games. Like I think he's been brilliant in other games, David Luiz. I back him. So
I will just say
in a season than David Luiz, without doubt.
that obviously when he was at Chelsea, I would say you can tell what kind of game you're going to have by David Luiz's first touch of the ball.
Yeah.
Oh,
If he
no.
completely messes it up, you know that you're fucked. If he does it well, we're on to a winner. So
Wait, Amy, you told me that I wasn't allowed to swear during the thing.
yeah, but it's like, what time is it now? Yeah, it should be all right.
Oh, was it post watershed? All right, fuck it.
We're technically we're not post watershed, but you know what? Fuck it, why not? Fuck this shit. Just shit balls. Anything else? Anything goes.
Anything goes. So, what other categories did we have?
Wait, who's the worst player? Who's the worst player? Because I'm not having David
Can
Luiz.
I put forward Timu Puki, who came in with such a massive hype because of how he did in the championship?
Well,
and
to be
scored
fair,
like
they have
4
gone down,
goals.
so you can totally have that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not making the decision. You guys do it, and then I'll just decide. Like the overall.
I've got to say, Kepa, right? Given if you look at the stats in terms of shots faced and goals conceded, he is like head and shoulders worse than everybody. Plus, how much he costs. Plus, he just looks like a prick. So I'd say Kepa personally, just from
Jesus.
Yeah,
Mark, that's hurtful. You don't say that about people. I could say I think you look like a prick, but I'm not going to do that because that's not fair.
Like a prick, though.
Yeah,
I'll
so do
say
I.
it.
Brilliant. I probably.
Mark, you look like you got a halo on your head.
Do I? I do.
Yeah. You look like an angel.
I'm just glad he's
someone's
finally
written
got a haircut.
Someone's written here, Joe Linton.
That's a good shout.
That's a very good
That's not
shout,
a
yeah.
bad shout. That's not a bad shout.
Yeah, Joe Linton's a good shout, to be fair.
Any other nominees?
I'm actually tempted to go on PremierLeague.com and see who statistically was the worst player.
Okay, yeah, do that.
Yeah, good shout, mate.
Nice. Good effort.
I know, it's just doing it alphabetically. I can't be bothered to go through 20, 25 man squads. No.
No, it's not.
Anyone know who statistically is the worst? Anybody watching? Want to have a quick Google for us?
I'm just going to guess a random name. I'm going to scroll. You tell me when to stop.
Right, stop.
Fabian Balbuena from West Ham, or Benji Bani Gimbe, Tudor Baluta. These are just people that I haven't even heard of.
We'll go with that West Ham player because I don't like West Ham.
Phil Bardsley. Let's go with that.
Ross Barkley's not a bad shout. He's done nothing this season.
Oh, I disagree.
Nothing.
Ross Barkley's had his moments. He's had his moments.
Think?
He's been solid in some times this season.
You
That's a quality shout.
To be fair, Danny Drinkwater hasn't really done anything this season, has he? He did have a baby, though.
Bless him. Bless him.
Where is he? Where's he playing? Is he at Chelsea?
He's at Chelsea.
I think he's a Villa. He's a Villa
No,
at the
he's
minute.
not at Chelsea anymore.
He's at
He's
Villa.
on loan.
He's a Villa.
Well, he'll come back. He'll come back in a couple of weeks.
He did have a baby, though, I think.
I don't think we're going to be able to agree on the worst player, to be fair. There's too many.
All right. So we're not giving that the Ballon floor of Jeff to somebody's career there, then.
Can I make a quick thing on the Ballon d'Or, right? You know, this is the only season that they haven't actually got a Ballon d'Or winner, right? Which I think is an absolute travesty to Lewandowski, who has been head and shoulders above every player in the world. And it's just basically so Messi and Ronaldo can't win it because they've not been good enough. And then Lewandowski gets stolen a Ballon d'Or. And I think that is an absolute disgrace.
I think
Also-
so too. They could have sent it to him in the post. They could have done like a little video thing.
Hey, you need to have most attractive footballer.
Pardon?
Most attractive footballer, Loftus Cheek.
But that's not a worse thing.
No, I'm just adding one for you.
Well, maybe it just makes Joe feel bad because he fancies them and it confuses him. section.
Loftus Cheek is so attractive.
As a straight man, I can also agree with that.
And
I would let him have my children.
Ross Barkley, you got loads. That midfield.
I think we've got a beautiful team, actually.
Yeah.
Arteta, yeah.
Yeah, but Hector Bellerin turned his FA Cup medal into an earring, so he's automatically disqualified.
All right. Most travesty thing to happen on a pitch, right? Nominees are Aubameyang dropping the trophy.
Just pick up the cup, mate.
I found that endearing, to be fair.
Everyone was shouting at the screen. Just pick the cup up. Leave the base.
I like that.
It was so annoying.
What are the other travesties?
Right.
You have a list?
Jack Grealish getting punched in the head and knocked out during the game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was pretty bad.
He wears his socks too low. Sorry, I'm a bit drunk now. He wears his socks too low.
He has tiny shin pads. He's worn the same shin pads since he was in schoolboys. So they're like,
they're kids, aren't they? Yeah.
Dinky.
I don't think it's a case if he wears the socks are too small. I think his just calves are just absolutely fucking colossal.
Yeah, they are.
They are big.
Top 5. Yeah.
I wonder
they're the biggest calves I've ever seen.
I got quite big calves. I got cankles.
I can confirm that Amy does have cankles, everybody.
How big are they? Show them.
Prove it.
How big are they?
Whoa! Wait, hang on. Let me go into landscape quickly.
I was really hoping you'd do that and fall off the chair because that would have just made this video.
I used to be a ballerina. That's my.
Having another.
Joe, you are smashed.
The boys asleep. Come on.
Oh my god.
Look,
Right,
I've got 2 kids.
Huh?
I'm just checking the comments. Talk amongst yourselves, guys.
Someone's
What's the
put forward
next
Jesse
category?
Lingard.
There should be other categories. Best hair, worst hair. Grealish, worst hair.
Grealish has got St. Maximin.
No. Todd Cantwell when he decided to look like a schoolgirl.
Yeah, to be fair, his hair.
He's been on TikTok, Todd Cantwell now. He's loving the dancing on TikTok. You know what? Let the kids be kids. You know, TikTok's a thing. Let them enjoy themselves.
I still don't get it. I'm 22 and I don't understand TikTok. And it's like
you are not 22, Louis.
I'm 22.
Oh, wow. Mate. Tell you what.
22.
Can't wait to see you when you're my age, mate.
Oh, I'll look fucking amazing. That's what I'll do. It's in the genetics.
That's if you'll still be around there, Mark. Got a while to go, isn't he?
Coach, I'm gonna have to shoot, man.
Thanks for joining us, Costa.
Bye, Costa.
Lots of love to you all, man. Let's do it next season. God bless you.
Yeah, definitely. See you later.
Bye.
So someone else has put Lingard is bad too.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lingard, did you see the bet that someone put on him to not get a goal or assist in the entire season? And the return was ridiculous. And he scored in the 97th minute of the last game. And he lost his bet. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Was it $2.5 grand he would win or something, wasn't it? Or for three quid?
He would be...
I like Lingard. I like him.
Do ya?
Yeah. Dele Alli,
content he makes.
Lingard,
He's got a good YouTube channel.
Loftus Cheek. I'd have them all. I'd have them round.
I'm just thinking, in what capacity does he mean that, based on the previous comments about Loftus Cheek?
They can have a honey Jack Daniels.
Is it the Jack Daniels? Is it to numb the pain? Is that why you're drinking honey Jack Daniels?
If they would have sponsored me, guys.
I'm proud of you.
So I'm gonna, as the barmaid and landlady, I'm gonna have to tell you to drink some water in a minute, or you're out.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
All right. So worst haircut. Tottenham.
Me.
Yeah, to be fair, has suggested a Pogba.
Oh, I don't know. He's got his thing.
Yeah, he's just because he stands out from the crowd. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
be an individual.
I would say it was the worst hair. No.
Aubameyang's is a bit.
Aubameyang's post-lockdown trim before he got it cut. That was horrendous.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah,
I love it. Made his head.
Please don't leave. Please don't leave if he's listening.
The haircut before he got his haircut.
Aubameyang's definitely watching this. Uber, listen, it's Market, aka Yanks. You know, we follow each other. Just want to say, sign the ting. Love you. Marry me.
So I think Granit Xhaka's signing till 2023.
I like that. I think he's been brilliant this season. Once he had the whole sort of to-do at Palace.
Xhaka is backer. Xhaka is backer.
Isn't it funny? We've got Xhaka, Saka, and Laka.
All you need to sign is Wan-Bissaka.
Oh, mate. I think he's an awful footballer. Does anyone else agree with me? I don't get it. I don't get it. He's not a modern fullback. He can tackle, but I mean, given the ball at his feet, and he's like
Kaka. Sorry, I've had a drink.
Why are we just blurting out footballers' names?
I was trying to think. I was just trying to think of an Aka. Surely Kaka.
Aka. Oh, Chris Akabush. No.
Yeah, Akinfenwa.
Akinfenwa. I can't wait to see him in the Championship. By the way, I love that.
I think he's going to get sold back to League One.
I hope not. I hope he gets a chance. But yeah,
he still owes me a Nando's. He lost a bet to me last year, and then he's been airing me ever since. I'm really disappointed. He owes me a Nando's, and he's refusing to buy it for me.
So
it's probably not even going to cost him any money.
Exactly, and I'm just disappointed. I just really want a Nando's.
He's mugged you right off there.
I know. I want to cry. But now that Wickham have got that money for going up from League One to the Championship, I'm sure they can put it on their bill.
Maybe.
It's the playoff now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We're missing it. Who do you think's going to go up?
Well, my dad's a Brentford fan, so
hopefully Brentford. Hopefully Brentford.
Fulham will do it.
Well, if Brentford
I'd love to see a team from West London.
Chelsea are interested in a Brentford player, so it's in our best interest if Brentford don't go up, because then we're more likely to get him.
Into what?
What?
The player.
Said Benrahma.
Yeah, am I talking into language?
Yeah.
Apparently, we've been linked with him as well. To be fair, but
you got no money though.
Everyone's linked to everyone, aren't they? It's like Carnation Street.
Unless David Ornstein says it, I'm not interested.
Oh, there you go. Someone else that Chelsea has also been linked with is a goalkeeper. I think he's a goalkeeper.
Banana.
Yeah. Oh, Nana. What's your name? I was just going off what Joe was doing with his old trying to put songs into.
I love a dad dance, Joe Paul.
Yeah.
I love a dad dance.
Do you know what? I've realised I'm a little bit like Arteta, because he does a lot of the clapping. That's the dad thing, isn't it? That's the dad moves. That's what he was sort of doing after when they were all celebrating in the dressing room. He just clapped. That's all I do when I'm in a club. I'm never in a club. But if I'm ever in a club.
You're
not there.
Jesus.
I don't think any of us are going to be in the club for at least another 2 years. In my case, the only clubs when we do social clubs when
Costa needs to come back and do a sing song with us.
No, I think Costa still values his singing career.
Yeah.
I like Joe kind of just did the beginning of Temperature by Sean Paul there. It's just with that rhythm. You can start singing it. Sean Paul, let me give it to you. I'm going to stop talking now. I'm just going to shut up.
Okay. Right, so I think we're done.
I think we're done.
Oh.
I think this was a good end of season.
Joe's literally just starting.
My mouth's gone a bit numb. That's not a good sign, is it?
So I wish we were hanging out right now, because I could totally just have another drink.
I know.
I would drive round. I'm probably not allowed.
Let's take it off air, and we can all enjoy a nice little drinky poos. So that is it, guys. Thank you for tuning in to this one-off special of Walked Into a Bar. But that is it. Last orders, closing time. So we'll be back, hopefully be back next season. I'm about to chuck Joe out. But anyway, see you later,